I have adrenal insufficiency, and it's kind of complicated. I have adrenal insufficiency, hypothyroidism, and antipituitarism. So basically, what that means is I don't produce any of my own hormones. Um, I produce very, very little. So adrenaline, no. So I can't really do running. I can't do endurance for a long time. I don't have like injectables. I can't like inject a bunch of stuff into my arm. I think that everyone should, but that has this, but that's not a recommended treatment at that time for a lot of people. It is for some people, but not all, and I am not apparently one of them. Which I think is a shame, since I have all these problems of losing weight. I'm anxious a lot, so that burns hormones there. I don't have, and if you were wondering, no, I don't produce girl hormones either, so I replaced that. So I can essentially turn on and off my period. Isn't that lovely? I had a trip to a spa, and I didn't want to be on my period because I was going to be in the water, and so I just turned it off. I stopped taking my meds for that month, and it was fine. But it also, there's many different side effects of the illnesses. One of them is diarrhea. It doesn't happen that often because I mostly have my, I guess my disease. I don't like calling it a disease. Under control. It's basically Addison's, if anybody knows what that is. I basically have most of the markers of Addison's. I think Addison's is actually just a little worse because they rely on stuff much more. I took growth hormone growing up. I've known I've had this since I was 3, so I wasn't growing, so I took growth hormone. I would have been small. Yeah, so there's that. I always told people growing up that it just means, because what applied to me is like telling people, like people that were concerned about me playing sports, because my mom would do the fear of God in them, and then I would say it just means that I need to drink extra water, guys, okay? And it does. It means that I have to, essentially I don't absorb water right, because I don't even know. I don't know how to explain it without getting too complicated. I do have a video on it that I will link in the description below. Yeah, it's a complicated thing. So I don't have like girl hormones. I don't have just regular hormones. I don't have a metabolism. Basically, I replace my metabolism with a bunch of levothyroxine, and levels are normal right now. So the doctors say that's you can go to other videos where I cry about my weight to find out that I don't think that's accurate, because I work my butt off with no success. And I try to do the eating thing right, and so that's a whole different video. But it's something I've grown up with, and so that mindset is stuck with me. Like, no matter what I do, it's always been harder for me to lose weight. I mean, I would say I've started gaining weight more when I was like 10. I was a very thin child growing up because you're not hungry with this disease, but your medicine makes you hungry, apparently. Although I don't think that's true for me. I think it just kind of returns me to a normal person level of hunger. But it probably means that I need to be on the lookout for my hunger signals more, because most people report being more hungry on the medication that I'm on. I'm not taking prednisone. That's one option. I'm taking Cortef prednisone. A lot of people get angry on it. I know a lot of people that have been on prednisone that don't like it. Not even with my disease, like, people don't like it. And my doctor at one point tried to switch me to it, and I was like, been on Cortef my entire life, and I did the prednisone thing for like a month or 2 or 3 or something like that, and I was like, this is uncomfortable for me. I just think it works just a little bit better, Cortef. I don't know if that was entirely true or not, but it didn't make me feel super different, but I'm sure that I was probably more cranky. And I probably didn't chalk it up to the medicine. And that's another thing. I can get severely depressed on this if levels aren't right. And sometimes even if levels are right, because once you kind of get into the depression, it's hard to get out. I will never go back, though, to where I was in 4th grade, when I didn't understand what was happening, and it was extremely, extremely bad. I was almost suicidal, I would say I was. Back then, there wasn't a lot of health care for kids that were that way, because it wasn't like it was today. People didn't think kids my age could really feel that. These are getting really deep, but if you want to know more about my health condition, and want to kind of really understand me, I made a documentary about Addison's and adrenal crisis, because I went into adrenal crisis quite a lot as a kid. I would say about every other year, I'd end up in the hospital in an adrenal crisis. So, and I can still go into it, especially like I think I did when I broke both my wrists. My body is not, anybody's body is not really equipped to handle a moment like that. You're kind of in crisis mode already. So, just kind of heightens it, because I don't have the hormones to deal with that. So, yep. Anyway. I guess I'll go.